Today we're making mac and cheese. Let's get it. I decided I was recording this 5 minutes ago. This might be a short, might be a long video. I don't know. But we're gonna make macaroni and cheese. If you know me in real life, you know that my mac and cheese is either really good or I talk about it being really good all the time. So yeah. Wait, this might be Sigma. Mr. Good Looking is cooking. So, basically, like I said earlier, this video is entirely on the spot. And I said I was going to do a gratitude video. Still going to do that because that's cool. Anyways, step 1, get water. A bunch of it, depending on how much you're making. 0 measurements I have for you guys. But yeah, I also don't want to make this video only about food. But me thinking about this video and grabbing my microphone reminded me that I want to talk about Jesus being our daily bread. You know what I mean? So we've all heard that before. Jesus also being our what's the word? Spiritual water, or fulfilling our spiritual thirst. But yeah, salt your water a bunch, like this much. But yeah, Jesus is our, he's what fulfills our spiritual hunger and our thirst for something in life. Bunch of water, salted, high heat. And a lid. Booyah. He's our thing that makes us full and fulfilled in our lives. And you might be wondering, what do you mean, how can a spirit fulfill you? And it's kind of hard to explain unless you've lived through it. I don't know. He just does. He makes you feel peace. He makes you feel happy and enjoyable in every circumstance, which is low-key not a bad feeling. You want to dice an onion. My knife sucks. I'm going to cut myself with it probably. It's dull. You can probably tell that it's taking me forever to cut this little onion. This is half a red onion. You can use white onions. I just had a red onion because that's what I had. Again, this wasn't planned at all. But yeah. Dice up an onion, and then you're going to want to saute it in butter. And this is I'm going to just use this much because it's a lot of onion. Oh, my eyes! I'm really sensitive to onions. I'm like a little baby. Well, Holy crap. Got half a cup of onions, basically. And we're going to get 2 cloves of garlic, if I have any. I don't have garlic. But all is well. We can use garlic powder. It's not going to be as great, but it'll still be all right. But yeah, we're going to saute these with butter and garlic powder Normally there's also real garlic, but we don't have real garlic right now. We got some parsley. We're just going to dice this up. Parsley. Just want to cut that up. And just... This will go also in our sauce later. But yeah, Jesus fulfills us because he is like, God. And yeah, I struggled with a lot of loneliness, even though I was around people and friends and things like that. But I felt very lonely, and girls didn't fulfill that. Pornography never filled it. Video games never filled my loneliness. And then Jesus came into play, and then he did, which was kind of cool, if you ask me. But, yeah. He's our daily bread, as in, we should be searching for him as long as, every single day. We need him and his word and, all that he provides for us consistently and every day. Because, if you fall back and you fall away from that stuff, you're just going to feel starved, And, yeah, basically that. There's this woman at the well that he talks to, the Samaritan woman, and it's cool because he has to go talk to her. It says that in a verse. I'll put it somewhere. But the Bible is very intentional with its grammar, which is interesting because I don't notice it in normal books that my English teacher makes me read, but I notice it in the Bible, which is funny. But yeah, he says he has to go to Samaria and talk to this, because he has to meet someone. And he talks to this woman at the well. And she's been with a bunch of people, and she's living with someone who's not her husband, which normally means they're being promiscuous. And she's at the well during the day. And back in that time, going to the well in the middle of the scorching hot sun is you're only doing it to get away from people. You know what I mean? But yeah, she was getting away from people, getting away from her husband, and she meets Jesus at the well, and he's like, "Yo, can I get a glass of water?" And then she's like, "What the heck are you asking me for? I'm a Samaritan woman." One, she's a woman, and one, she's Samaritan. And women were treated less than, more than they are today. And she was a Samaritan, which Jews actually weren't the biggest fan of. And yeah. So him asking her that was already out of the ordinary, because she was a Samaritan woman, and Jesus was a Jewish man. So that's a little weird in the first place, because yeah, but that also shows Jesus' character and opening up to people who are different and what's the word? Poor-hearted or poor intentions or something like that. You guys know what I mean. Because they were looked down upon because they would normally live in promiscuous lives and not the greatest ways possible back then. And this woman, she's had multiple husbands, and Jesus is like, "You've had multiple husbands. I'll give you water that so you'll never be thirsty again." And at first she's like, "What are you talking about? There's no way that you're going to give me water that makes me never thirsty again. Can I get some of that?" Because duh, who wouldn't want water that makes you never thirsty? But that's not what he was talking about. He was talking about spiritually thirsty, when you're like wanting someone to be with, wanting $1 million, wanting this, wanting that, wanting, like, fulfilling our wants and giving us our needs, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's what he was talking about in that story. He's here on earth to serve us. Verse right there. Don't remember, but I have it in my phone. He's here on earth to serve us and fulfill our needs, and that we can grow in a relationship with him. And yeah, this woman's like, they have a longer conversation, and Jesus eventually tells her that he's like the Messiah, and she's like, oh my gosh, there's no way. And she lives like a happy life. I actually don't know that. I hope she does. I don't know. But basically, in that story, like I said again, Jesus fulfills our needs and fulfills our wants. Fulfills our spiritual thirst and hunger. And speak of hunger, let's get back to food. I just finished, it's basically boiling. This is the macaroni I'm using. It's the one from Trader Joe's. They're like 99 cents for a pound, which is just pretty good. I'm cooking 3, so that's reference for like all the other stuff, if you're curious. But yeah, 3 pounds of macaroni, and then I got the Costco cheese. This comes in like a bunch, like 2-pack. It's like full. It's really good. It's great for macaroni and cheese. I use this. I use Sriracha sauce for my sauce. Cream cheese. I use this Hellmans creamy Sriracha. I have no clue where my mom gets this, but she gets it consistently, and I put it in my macaroni cheese every time. Heavy whipping cream for your sauce, and butter, flour, and obviously salt and pepper, and garlic powder. And I don't know. I'll put a list in the description or whatever. But I also like to spice it up with some other stuff, like there's this other sauce or seasoning from Costco. It's this one. I don't have too much of it. It's a truffle parmesan black garlic. Amazing. Makes everything 30 times better. Put it on everything. Paprika. Whole rosemary. Only a little bit, because they get big and they get hard when you're cooking them. Okay. Macaroni time. Basically, you throw them in there for like like 7 minutes, and then it's done. I mean, everyone's made macaroni before, but yeah, make sure it's all submerged. I'm just gonna use this. Make sure it's all submerged. And yeah, I turn the heat down to medium afterwards so it doesn't overcook while I'm doing this stuff. Because normally I do this stuff, like getting all my stuff out, like while it's boiling. So I have a little extra time. Cut. Uncut. We have our onions and our garlic powder here. I'm going to put all these little seasonings in this cute little bowl, because I see that in some YouTube videos where they put it in a bowl and then they put it in the thing, even though they could just put it in the whatever. Anyways, tiny bit of rosemary, like very tiny, because they get hard, but it makes it better. More parsley flakes. I mean, I could have used these in the beginning, but fresh parsley is a little better. Paprika, few dollops of that. I like a little more because I like spicy food. And then I'm gonna use like half of what I got here in there. What else we got? Some salt and pepper. And yeah, that's basically it. Mix around a little bit. Also, make sure you guys are cleaning up while you're cooking. I'm really bad at that. But it makes cooking so much easier because then like you have more space and you don't have to worry about like, I don't know, your mess later afterwards, because that's the worst part of cooking. It's after. You have to clean. But, alright, let's saute these onions. Cool. First of all, my big burner is broken, so I have to use my little one. Might take a little bit, but it's alright. First we get a pan, preferably non-stick, but I don't have a non-stick pan, so we're using cast iron. That's what we're using. We're going to get a little bit of butter, like a fourth of a stick, because we don't have that much. We're not using that much onions. But you save the rest of the stick for later. I think this is like 2 tablespoons. I actually don't know how much. And then I cut it in little cubes so it melts faster. But you're going to want to melt your butter a teeny bit. And then, actually wait, I'm stupid. You don't do that. You get your pan hot first. We're going to get it a little hot for like 2 minutes, not even. And then we put our butter in. Then we put our onions in. Sprinkle it with some garlic powder. Mix it around until it colors a teeny bit. And then we can start making our sauce, which would be dope. All right, let's just say that's hot enough because it is. Throw the butter in there. And then now, once that melts, you're going to put the garlic in there. Or the onions in there, not the garlic. And I'm going to use a silicone spatula. Oy. I dropped my towel. New towel. Let's bring you over here, shall we? And maybe turn on the light. Alright, so this is my pan. It's got butter in it. That's it. See how it's starting to smoke like that? That means it's time to throw something in there, because if you don't, the butter's gonna burn. But yeah, just a little bit of onion, not too much. We're gonna saute it so it gets softer, and so it can make these little like this oil in there, so it can make the sauce taste a little better. But yeah, mix this around. Woo, onions. Once they start getting color is when we start adding other stuff, like our parsley from earlier and our garlic powder. But I just throw it in there. It's not like, there's no crazy science behind this. It's just mac and cheese, but it's good, so. Sometimes you want to shake it around just to get it moving so it doesn't stick to the pan, because this is cast iron, and cast irons sometimes get very sticky, so they like don't hold the stuff in the pan, like it sticks to the pan. That's why I like nonstick better, but I don't have any. But yeah, another thing of butter just to keep it cooking, not burning. And once that melts like halfway, we're gonna throw in we're gonna throw in a little more butter, and then throw in our flour so we can make a roux. And a roux is this thing that makes your sauces thicker and taste better. All it is butter and flour. But since we got a lot more than just butter and flour here, might take a little bit. But you put butter and flour together and it makes this little like chalky like substance thingy. And it's really good. I mean, it's actually not really good. It tastes like crap. But yeah, throw in like half a cup of flour, and then you kind of just mix it around. Might need a little more butter, because yeah, we need more butter. Whoops. It's okay. So basically throw in a whole stick of butter. By basically I mean exactly that. Throw in a whole stick of butter with your onions, garlic powder, and your flour. Half a cup of flour. And again, this is for a bunch of people, so maybe not this much if it's just you. But leftovers is always fun. But yeah, since it's all roux-y now and it looks like this, it looks kind of gross. But it's because it is. But it's going to make everything taste better in a minute. Now we're going to throw in our parsley. Wow! Our seasonings from earlier. Mix that around a teeny bit, just so it doesn't burn to the pan. We're going to throw in like a few tablespoons of cream cheese. Low-key up to you. Doesn't really matter how much you put in. Just make sure you put in some. Makes it creamier. Makes it taste better. But yeah, it should start to look like this. This is like almost perfect so far. This looks great. And I know this does not look like mac and cheese or appetizing at all. But you gotta trust. You gotta trust. Just like we're supposed to trust the Lord. Ooh. Wow. A few squirts of Sriracha. A little bit of that creamy Sriracha sauce. You guys are going to look at me at this video and you're going to be like, yo, who's this guy putting Sriracha sauce in his macaroni and cheese? And then you're going to see it and you're going to be like, oh, shoot. Or you're going to taste it yourselves. You're going to be like, oh, shoot. This guy was right all along. Crap ton of heavy cream. And then once it all formulates together, makes it all one color, we're going to put in the cheese. Turn down the heat a little bit once it starts bubbling like that, because you don't want any of it to burn. I'm making a mess. That's what the towel's for. Yippee! Always have a towel on you. Pro chef tip number 1. Alright, I think our pasta is almost done too. We can look at that right now. So we got our pasta. Woo! It's literally just pasta. It's nothing crazy. We're going to try it, make sure it's soft and chewy. You guys know how pasta should taste, hopefully. Some people like save some of the water for their sauce, which is cool, but I think it's weird. Sometimes I shock it, but it's going right in the oven afterwards, so no water in there. Whoa! All right, back to the sauce. It's starting to look like one color. It's getting harder and creamier, but this is looking great. It's looking great. All right, now we're gonna add a crap ton of cheese. Also completely up to you. I like to put a lot because who doesn't? That's a lot of cheese. And then after you put more cheese, turn up the heat a teeny bit so it can melt. And then you can use milk. Any type of milk's cool. Oat milk, almond milk, normal milk. Doesn't really matter. I'm using oat milk because I am. It's what I got. But yeah, that's basically it. And then you mix it together after this is all melted. And like if this isn't creamy enough, just add some cream cheese. If it's too creamy, add more heavy whipping cream. You know? Ooh, look at that. Ooh. Looks scrumptious. Ain't that right? So, it's looking pretty good. We're gonna test it. After you test it, make sure seasoning's all right and well salted. If it's not salty enough, I mean, salt it. If it's too salty, make more. Or you're just cooked. But like, yeah, you see that? It shouldn't be like stringy. It's cool stringy, but like, it's nice when it like falls off of your fork like that. But yeah, let me get a noodle. And then, But yeah, you can turn down the heat, and basically, you're gonna want to clean up a little bit. I'm just throwing my trash away. I know you can't see me, but that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna throw a little more cheese in there, just to make it a little cheesier. It's great, but I mean, you know, why not? Then we're going to do this. We're going to get rid of our pot from earlier. And we're going to get a casserole dish. One momento. Woo, casserole dish. Basically, we're going to do this. We're going to get our pasta from earlier. Make sure there's no more water in it. You're going to put like half of it in the dish. Then, you're going to put about half on here. Use a spoon or a spatula. Mix it around. Make sure the sauce gets all around, because it's lame when you get to the pasta at the bottom and there's like either way too much sauce or like not enough at all. So that's why I do it in portions, because helps me stay even. But yeah, this is cool. This is my macaroni and cheese. Doesn't this look great, guys? I'm spilling so much, making a huge mess. But it's okay, because I'm going to clean the kitchen after. But yeah, this is my mac and cheese. That's basically it. Anyways, I'm going to cut it, because I know you don't want to watch me put more noodles on cheese. But, ready, cut. You want to make sure you take your time cleaning up the or putting the cheese sauce on the noodles, because I mean, it's important. It's what makes the noodles good. And yeah, make sure you do that. Make sure it's even. If you make a little mess, it'll be all right. Just make sure your burners are off. Make sure you're cleaning up afterwards. I have dogs, so the second I drop something on the floor, they go and eat it, which is funny because it's basically like we never have to sweep. We still do. I'm not disgusting, I promise. So basically, now that I'm basically done mixing it, when you like move it around, it should sound like cream. Like it should sound creamy. If it doesn't, you did it wrong. Because like it sound like. Let me put you on. Ready? Oh yeah. If it sounds like that, you know it's good. Like you know it's good. The last ingredient I'm gonna use. We have that there. We're gonna set this up here. This is my bowl. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit. Make sure when you're presenting things to people, it's clean. It looks good. Plate is clean. I'm being very touchy with it because it's my food, but it'll be all right. That's my plate. I like to sprinkle very tiny bit of cheese on top, just a little bit for color. And then this is like the home run ingredient. Y'all ready? Lime. Lime zest is peak on top of mac and cheese. It adds a little bit of zestiness, a little bit of flavor, a little bit of like punch. It makes it like, it balances out. It's not really spicy. It's not spicy at all. But it's like, it balances out, like, it just adds, you know? Like, it's already good, but it just adds, you know what I'm saying? But it's great. It's great. If you don't want to try that, don't. I don't really care. But I recommend it. I am currently looking for breadcrumbs because now, since I am using this for later, the rest of my pasta over here, excuse me dog, now over here on my big pasta, we're going to put panko breadcrumbs or Italian style breadcrumbs. That's what these are. And you're just going to like sprinkle it a bunch all over. And then set your oven to 350 and cook it for about 40 minutes. I'm going to make mine lower and for longer because I have to leave. But I'll be back soon and show you guys what it looks like later. I'm going to also zest some lime over it, all around it. But yeah, if you're a family member, if you're a friend, and you love my macaroni and cheese, that's the recipe. That's basically it. Cheese on top, just a little bit for lookies, for looks. Yeah. Diggy Lux's famous mac and cheese step-by-step tutorial with a little reminder about Jesus being our only real need. But yeah, that's my thing. That's dope. So Sorry about the mess, but it's cool. Hold on, we should add some more color to this. This looks lame. Let's get that parsley back out. Yeah. Just get a little bit of parsley flakes. Adds a teeny bit of flavor and gives it some color from the blandness of everything. And yeah, oven. And you just throw it in and it's done. Put it in for like 20, 25 minutes. Whatever. But yeah, that's my food. Tell me what you guys think. Anyways, Jesus loves you. Jesus is the way, the truth, the life. And make sure you eat his bread. Wink, wink.